Hi metalheads, today I'm talking about pagans, Vikings, black metal, death metal. I'm talking about a gig with Insomnium, In Mourning and Quen that I saw last night in Prague. I'm gonna tell you how each band performed, the overall experience, if you should go and see this tour, and a valuable lesson that I learned, plus a surprising way of seeing a drummer ventilate himself during a metal concert. I wasn't really planning to see the show. I hadn't bought tickets to it. I usually am the guy that is the first guy on the doorknob when they open sales for any concerts here in Prague. And yeah, I just didn't really know these bands, so I wasn't really excited about this. But then I saw them advertised on Thursday, 10 tickets left, and I thought, okay, we're onto something here. So I'll go and take a look at it. And I did not regret that decision. So the gig was in a place called Palac Akropolis here in Prague. It's a 700 people venue and it was sold out, as I said, but it's a really nice venue. It's kind of made for this, has balconies and standing area downstairs. So it's a super nice, good sound and stuff like that. The first band on the bill was Kvaen, and I think it's said like that, and I had no idea about the band, their music style, or even what the name means, but apparently the name means Quen, or Kvaen is the first people that came to the north of Scandinavia, predating the Vikings, so it's kind of the grandfathers of the Vikings, let's say. It's a one-man project by a guy called Jakob Björnfot, and they have released, or he has released, 2 albums. One is called The Funeral Pyre in 2020, and another one in 2022 called The Great Below. And the music style, I don't know, it's some sort of a melodic speed black metal with hints of Pagan, and you can actually hear it here. Those guitars are not your average, and I actually read an interview this morning with Björn, and it turns out that his influences are Toto, Led Zeppelin, Necrophobic, and everything in between, jazz and all that stuff, and you really hear it. It's all there in the music. They were the first band on the lineup, and there was not a full house yet, and I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of people like me that hadn't seen them before and didn't really know a lot, but they really took the place by storm. They got the crowd engaged, they got them singing along, they got them jumping along, there was a mosh pit, everything was there. I met them after the gig, and they're really, really nice actually, and I'm props to them. They understood my kind of bastard Scandinavian that I speak. It's some sort of a mix of Danish, Swedish and Norwegian. So for me, this performance from Quen yesterday was a 10 out of 10 performance. I'm dying to see them again, and I'll put some links to the first comment to this video of 2 videos that I shot there and link to their album so you can check them for yourself. You will thank me later. The next band was In Mourning, and it was kind of the same thing. I didn't really know a lot about them. They're like a progressive death metal band out of Sweden. Everything is out of Sweden there, obviously. And, well, no, not everything, almost. But they are very different beasts from Quen, you know, like they're more kind of doomy, progressive, and I don't know, there's more variety somehow, and they create a very different atmosphere. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Amorphis or Swallow the Sun, if you know these bands. So let's just check out the little sound sample from them. So it was clear within Mourning that the crowd knew that band. I mean, they've been around since the year 2000, made like 6 albums, people were singing along, knew the lyrics, and yeah, but they were also really good with that. This music is not necessarily something I would be listening to a lot, but I liked it live, you know. It's long songs, there's a lot of space, there's a lot of diversity, there are 3 guitar players, and the bass player is never really doing anything normal or simple, so it has a lot of layers, this music, and you never really know what to expect. So it was a really solid performance by In Mourning, and the crowd was happy, the band was happy, and they were very engaging. So I'm gonna actually give them 9 out of 10 for this performance. So the last band on stage yesterday was Insomnium. They're a melodic death metal band from Finland. That's kind of the only band that I knew, and mainly from this song here. By the time that Insomnium started playing, the house was packed. There were Insomnium t-shirts everywhere, and they had a bigger stage and the drums on a riser, so their show was a bit more impressive than the other bands. They played about 15 songs, and people kind of sang along and headbanged, and they were really good with the crowd. I mean, these guys are obviously, they've been doing it a lot. They were a bit more kind of polished than the other two bands somehow, I felt. But it's obvious, yeah, these guys don't go out unless they have things perfect, which is kind of the Finnish way when it comes to metal, and Swedish by that matter. And I don't know, the main revelation for me though was the drummer, because he had this state-of-the-art air conditioning going on where he had cut off the armpits of his t-shirt to ventilate. But to be honest, when I was watching him drum, I'm not sure that this guy sweats, because this seemed to be very, very effortless for him. But I mean, no disrespect to his drumming is amazing, but it's almost like he was just sitting in the office and playing drums. With Insomnium, I felt a bit of a lack of drive somehow in the songs, but I think it's just that type of music somehow. And also by that time, I'd been standing there for like 3 hours, so I was getting tired, you know. But I'm still gonna give them 9 out of 10 because it was solid, perfect. They got the crowd, everybody was happy, and yeah, it was good stuff. So should you go and see this? Yes, there is plenty of gigs left. They're gonna go Germany, France, and Spain over the next 2 to 3 weeks. You can go to Insomnium's page and check tour, and you will see the dates. I'll put a link to that in the first comment to this video. Overall, for me, this was like a 9.5 out of 10 night. It's a great lineup with enough kind of diversity. Sometimes when I go to these gigs, I feel that they're all kind of trying to play the same music. That was not the case yesterday. So all of them great in their own way. Quen was the highlight for me though, and they just brought such fierce energy and drive that you know, it was hard to kind of match that for anyone coming on afterwards. And that was the lesson that I learned that I mentioned in the beginning, guys. Always go and see the opening lineup, because these are up and coming bands that have maybe made 1 or 2 albums and you would otherwise not necessarily hear about. So like this video and subscribe, and join me here in this video here where I talk about Paradise Lost, Primordial, and Omnium Gatherum concert here in Prague.